Yep, what you're seeing is not clickbait. I am actually in the process of interviewing the MetaRunner voice cast. Yeah, you may notice some changes in the quality with each interview in this playlist. Like, for one, it may be what you're about to see, and I just have my camera perched on my computer filming the screen, and then others, it's just audio only, and, the quality may change with each of them, but it truly is an honor to have interviewed the MetaRunner cast, as you're about to see here, so I really hope you guys enjoy all this. First up, you're about to see me interview the voice actor for Lux, David J.G. Doyle. Enjoy. Okay, first up on the interview list is David Doyle, the voice actor for Lux from MetaRunner. Again, thank you for coming on the show, Mr. Doyle.
Doyle. It's actually Doyle. But, oh, I see what happened. There are people. That's actually been happening a lot now. It's actually David J.G. Doyle, but for some reason they're shortening it and making it Doyle. And I'm actually considering that.
Okay, but anyways, since a lot of my subscribers are unfamiliar with MetaRunner, if I could just please ask you for a brief description of your character and a possible impersonation of them, if that's cool.
Oh, that's fine. MetaRunner is a TV series done by the SMG4 crew. The people behind, SMG4, the fantastic Mario parody series. I love it. And the series MetaRunner is about this young lass named Tari who has this unique ability when it comes to video games. What is that ability? I suggest you watch that show yourself and find out. The character I play is the main villain Lux, a guy who's very keen on ruling the world video game-wise, I guess is the best way to put it. And, he is so good. He has so much conviction in what he's doing. And he's quite competent, while at the same time an absolute evil ass.
True.
I like to, one person actually reviewed it said that he's kind of like Xemnas, but either way. Bill, change of plans. I no longer want her abilities for Tazcore. I want her.
Oh, wow, that was actually really good. But anyways, on to the questions. How long have you been a voice actor for prior to MetaRunner?
Well, before MetaRunner, I was doing voice acting. Well, a mixture of professional and amateur. Professional means paid, amateur means unpaid. That's really what it means again.
I see.
I've been doing that for the better part of 10 years. But acting as a whole, ever since I scurried on in a koala uniform when I was 5 years old at a school play. I grew up around the stage first. Like, I love Les Miserables, I love musicals and everything like that. Voice acting didn't hit me until I realized how much I love animation in video games. And Final Fantasy VII especially. Huge fan. Massive fan of the game.
Wow, you've got quite a bit of experience.
And it shows with how much hair I don't have anymore. Oof. The more experience I get, the less hair I got.
Yeah, I've always been a really big fan of the Metroid franchise, which is from Nintendo. Freaking love the Metroid Prime trilogy. That's one of my favorite games of all time.
Metroid was amazing. I played the original Metroid on the good old NES.
Yeah, I played a little bit of the original, but never really finished it.
Balls hard.
Yeah, but anyways, what other films, shows, etc. did you star in?
Say that again, sorry you broke up.
What other films or shows did you star in?
Well, there's nothing as massive as MetaRunner. One thing that I've done, though, is a lot of independent work. Some things that I've done a couple of video games, such as one recently released called Dungeon League. I play two characters in that, Reginald and Gasket. Reginald is just this mighty big Brian blessed guy. Have at thee! And Gasket, just this mighty, grade A Scottish man with a musket.
Okay, that's a real good Scottish impression.
Thank you. I should hope so. Only am I trained with that accent, I'm part Scottish.
Oh, wow. I'm actually part German, part Dutch on my end.
I think, same here actually. I'm the biggest Euro mutt. I'm part Scottish, I'm part Irish, I'm part British, I'm part German, I'm part Dutch. There's speculation that somewhere in here there's Korean, but we don't know if that's because of a married name or not, but...
Oh. Okay, well, what's your favorite film, whether you starred in it or not, and why?
That would be The Duelists.
Oh, what's that about?
That's actually Ridley Scott's very first movie.
Oh, Ridley Scott?
Yeah, and, I really want to talk about it, but it's just such a great film that I just almost don't want to spoil anything other than this famous detail. I will say it's about two men who keep dueling each other throughout different phases of their lives between swords or guns, and it's just such a joy to watch because the acting is perfect, it's fantastically paced, it's got magnificent music, and somehow to this day it looks like it was filmed just yesterday. Ridley Scott has his amazing, was the king of cinematography.
Yeah, for Ridley Scott I've seen a little bit of Alien, but one of my favorite Ridley Scott films is without a doubt The Martian. That's definitely, I'm familiar with Ridley Scott.
Yeah, he's been robbed of one too many Oscars.
Yeah.
Same with Christopher Nolan, by the way. Second favorite film is The Dark Knight.
Alright, my favorite films, personally, I have a lot of favorite films, but if I had to narrow it down to two, it would be Pacific Rim and Wall-E.
Wall-E.
Yeah, the Disney movie. Yeah. Yeah, then again, what's not to like about Pacific Rim with all the action scenes of the giant robots fighting the monsters? And that's the thing I like about Pacific Rim the most is that, the giant robots truly look and feel like giant robots instead of just big action figures, which is why Uprising didn't do as well.
Yeah, well, I think part of that is because Guillermo del Toro is very big on using actual makeup mixed with CGI. Like those, last I heard, those are people actually in suits of some kind, actually doing the combat.
Yeah, I would pay anything to try and be in one of those setups with the con pod and just doing all the movements and stuff. That would be lit.
Absolutely.
Alright, moving on. What's your favorite part about being a voice actor for MetaRunner?
Well, besides just being part of this really fun universe, just the people I work with. I mean, I'm friends with pretty much all the cast so far, at least the main cast. One of them, the guy who voices Lamar, Anthony Sardina, I actually met him during MetaRunner.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, he's the biggest sweetheart on the planet. Whenever we talk, he's always saying how good, speaking of how I am, and he's like that with everyone. Just the friendliest guy. And Celeste, absolute joy to be around. Jessica is hilarious.
Yeah, I've seen the videos of I've seen the videos of you guys reading memes, whatever, and when the first video, when Tari and Theo were going through Belle's diary, I could just picture Belle just slamming the door open and fire shooting out of her eyes, what are you two doing reading my diary?
I will pay money to whoever is willing to animate that. My God, that would be amazing.
I could work that out in the future, but then again, I don't even know animation, but I'm gonna start trying to learn how to do it for the sake of promoting Analyst.
Nice.
Alright, so, I think we've already kind of covered the topic of what made you want to be a voice actor, or maybe we didn't, so if you have anything to pitch in for that.
Well, there's more to it, because I always wanted to be on stage, but my final push to be a voice actor was not only when I realized how much I love animation, but just how much I really looked up to specific voice actors. A lot of old guys from Funimation, but also some of the really other brilliant voice actors like Quentin Flynn, Rob Paulson, Jim Cummings, of course, Mel Blanc. You cannot be a voice actor without giving a nod to Mel Blanc. That is one of the few sins of voice acting. Same with June Foray. But my main idol for voice acting, none other than Peter Cullen.
Oh, really?
My God. Oh, yeah. Very proud that I got to meet him a few years ago at Supernova.
Oh, cool.
And it's just amazing how this mighty deep voice comes from a man who's 5'8". But he's like the friendliest guy. He's just, as soon as you meet him, you just want him to become a second grandfather or something, but I digress. But his voice range and acting range was nothing short of incredible. And listening to that, now I am just going, I want to do that.
Wow.
I want to do that. I want to be able to create all these different characters behind a microphone and hopefully be able to influence some childhoods in a good way. Just like how Optimus Prime was influential. A lot of kids actually said that he was like a second father.
Yeah, Optimus Prime was a pretty dope guy.
Oh, yeah.
Alright,
he was actually, fun fact, doing an Optimus Prime impression and knowing Amber Lee Connors, actually, the girl who voiced Lucinia, was the reason why I got my first gig, Malevolence, sort of Acronox.
Oh.
Man, the director of that game, really cool guy. Yeah, he was looking for deep voices at the time. And when I said, a little unprofessionally actually now I think about it, can I come in and voice? That's not how you do it, kids. He was actually very down to earth. But he said, alright, I'm looking for something Optimus Prime related. And I came in and said, before time began, there was the cube. And he said, that's amazing. Now make him Irish. And so began the room of Irishness prime. The smell of rotting flesh lingers here. That was a fun character. And it was the very first time that I also voiced a monster as well.
Oh, which monster?
The lizard creature.
Oh. Okay, well, let's see. How'd you hear about Meta Runner?
It was actually... I was actually scouted on behalf of my voice acting mentor, Rick Herbert, who's no relation to Kyle there. He's very good at his job. Very good at his job, and I was very honored to be able to train under him. And when the Meta Runner crew were asking him, they were saying, since you're union, you're probably very expensive, but could you help us out finding other actors to fill out these parts? And he saw Lux, and he said to them, not only do I know the perfect guy, he's one of the top 5 in Australia who's perfect for this kind of job. And I said to him, well, thank you, Rick, for that vote of confidence, and also for the pressure. And then he said, don't worry, I didn't tell them you're better than Keith Scott.
Oh, wow, that's pretty interesting.
Which is true. Keith Scott, just for a bit of context, he's pretty much Australia's answer to Mel Blanc. Like, he can do all of Mel Blanc's voices, he's done a lot of original voices, and just one of the... Like, every time there was a cartoon, an Australian cartoon, he was always guaranteed to be a voice in that, simply because that his range and acting abilities was that good. Same with Robin A. Moore.
Wow.
So, yeah, bit of random history for you.
Alright, let's see, of all the people you work with for Meta Runner, who would have to be your favorite co-worker if you had to choose one?
Jeez, rip my heart out, why don't you? Because they all have different reasons to be my favorite.
Yeah, I suppose that was a bit of a broad question on my behalf.
Yeah, but I will say that each one is a unique experience. Brendan, the voice of Massa, for example, he's a very sweet guy, but he's so, for want of better words, methodical about the way he acts. He's not a method actor anyway, but analytical is actually the better word. Like, he just goes in depth and really tries to do his best to understand the character. It's very inspiring to watch.
Wow.
Robin, the voice of Thea, it's impossible for her to be annoying. It really is. Even when she tries to be annoying, she's always somehow charming. She's charming as she is hilarious and always fun to work with. Especially in some projects, which I can't speak about right now, but oh boy. That's actually one curse of being an actor. You have to sign non-disclosure agreements, and it's so annoying because there are so many things which I'm involved with these days and I just want to scream about.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Okay, anyways, I think that's pretty much all the questions we have, so thank you very much again, David.
It's been an absolute delight.
Hey, no problem.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, no worries, man.
Bell, the time has come. Execute Order 66.